Hello YouTube, this is part 2 of adding a taller windscreen to my 10-foot Headwater from Jetstream. If you haven't watched the first part, basically I drew it up in SolidWorks, 3D modeled the windscreen that I wanted to make using design cues from a couple different styles. I have created a new back for the dashboard. Today I'm working on getting the pieces cut out of aluminum. In the last episode I made them out of cardboard so I could make sure that the design was going to work, it was going to fit the boat, and it was the style that I wanted to use. So now I'll show you the pieces I've got cut so far and what I have left to do. So I've got my grid here on SolidWorks, and I've been working on cutting the side windows out and then marking the grid on the aluminum. And if you watched the last episode, you saw where I did the same exact thing on the cardboard. I was a little nervous to just lay the cardboard on top of this and draw it out, so I opted to do all the measuring again just to make sure that my lines were going to end up right where I wanted them to be. I'm not sure if I showed in the last episode what my design is going to look like. So this is kind of what I came up with. All these openings here and here, the two in the front, those are going to get a polycarbonate. I'll have that bolted on probably the inside, I think is how they usually do it. And then just has a center support. I'm also going to add a pipe rail, I think, around the top perimeter just to clean up the edge. Similar to what was on the old windscreen, just a piece of pipe that this was just set up there and welded, and I kind of struggled getting it on so the welds don't look the greatest. What I think what I'm going to do is actually split the pipe using the table saw and then just slip it over the top. And that'll just clean that edge up and make it look nice, won't be sharp, and add some rigidity to it. Got my, let's see if I can show you here. Let's follow the light. So I've got my window marked out, both sides, and then these are the side windows, and then we're going to put a little window in the center support. So next step is going to be to cut those out and start tacking everything together. Alright, if you couldn't see it very well before because of the grid and all the lines and the shine and whatever, there's the windshield cut out, and I'm gonna leave the windows solid for now. I'm gonna actually weld it to the boat first and make sure that gonna weld the windshield to the boat first so I can make sure that if this warps, that hopefully it'll all be one plane when I cut it out. I had mentioned before I had troubles with the bow warping pretty bad, so I'm going to try to weld this first and then cut those out once it's on the boat. Okay, so I got it all on the boat and I kind of got excited and forgot to show you guys what I was doing. Yeah, so it's in where it's going to be. Get that out of there. Here's the center support. That side just tacked in right now. But yeah, I think it looks pretty nice, pretty good. I think it flows better than like the squared factory tall windshield, but I do kind of have a biased opinion too, so let me know in the comments section what you think. I'm really pleased with the fit up, being as I drew it on CAD as a curved piece of sheet metal. I've never done that before, and yeah, it ended up being exactly what I wanted. And you can kind of see the windows once I get everything welded out. We'll be able to cut those out. Welds are turning out decent, definitely compared to what the old window had with the thin material that kept burning through on me. So this, again, outside corners I'm not that great at with the spool guns, so that'll just get ground down and be rounded corners, and it'll look nice when it's done. But yeah, so I'm going to get back to gluing this thing back together, and then I've decided I'm going to put probably 1-inch rail on the top, similar to what the original windscreen had. Alright, so I'll bring it back when I get it all welded out. I think it turned out pretty well. Sometimes it looks like I know what I'm doing. But I think the overall look of the whole windshield looks pretty sweet. Can't wait to get on the water and actually stay dry this time. So we'll get the inside welded out, and then we're going to be cutting those windows out. I got to pick up some polycarbonate still, and we're going to make the quote-unquote glass.